What's up, YouTube? This is Jamerican Crypto, and I want to talk about a topic today that this article shares. And this article is called First Mover Fed Sees No Inflation Through 2021, but Bitcoiners are betting on it anyway. And it has been published on June 11th and as well updated. And the people who have written this are these two. Anyway, let's just get into the article, shall we? There's no end in sight to loose monetary policy at the Federal Reserve. And that's just fine with Bitcoin bulls. Officials with the US Central Bank, led by Fed Chair Jerome Powell, said Wednesday the economy is encountering such a drastic toll from the coronavirus that joblessness is expected to remain elevated for at least 3 years. Officials expect to keep interest rate close to zero through 2022, while pumping at least 120 billion a month of freshly created money into the financial system for the foreseeable future. Well, if you think about it, that's actually not really a good idea. Because how the hell are you going to close that debt if you're pumping more money into it and then you're going to be dumping it anyways? You see the problem there? That's why everyone in the US is in trillions of dollars of debt, not let alone in student loan debts. Because everyone is printing out money willy-nilly without actually thinking about it thoroughly. And that's actually really one of the reasons why there's so many joblessness even before the coronavirus was a thing. So, yeah, you can't say that joblessness was just because of coronavirus. It's because everyone is getting free handouts and printing out money that is not that is hardly even worth um, using because you're degrading or you're decreasing its value. That's why there should not be printing. There should not be any printing of any sorts. Well, moving on. The officials said that they see little chance of runaway inflation in the near future because the economic downturn has harshly crimped consumer demand and high unemployment is eliminating any upward pressure on wages. Prices for Bitcoin, seen by many investors as a hedge against inflation, rose on the news. As cryptocurrency analysts said, the longer the central bank sticks to its loose money stance, the higher the chances of inflation down the road. Yeah, well, since central banks, as the name says, centralized, and it's basically government-controlled money. It's just basically just that because it doesn't matter what you actually do. The money is always controlled by the government, and especially by the banks. That keeps printing out more money, more money. Well, you can be quite assured that the printing presses aren't getting any rest tonight, nor any night for quite a while to come. Matty Greenspan, founder of the foreign exchange and cryptocurrency research firm Quantum Economics, told subscribers in an email. Just this year, the Federal Reserve has already expanded its balance sheet about 3 trillion to a total of 7.2 trillion. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if that's just the debt. Well, anyways, and Kevin Kelly, co-founder of the analysis firm Delphi Digital, told First Mover in a Telegram message the dismal economic outlooks means governments may have to pump in more fiscal stimulus to jumpstart growth. The U.S. Congressional Budget Office forecasts the federal government's budget deficit will hit 3.7 trillion this year in dollars, more than double the previous record shortfall of 1.4 trillion in 2009. Such a backdrop is clearly conducive for hedges against currency debasement, Kelly said. All right. Assets like gold and Bitcoin should do well if the economy continues in this direction. Bitcoin prices have surged 36% this year, partly expectations the largest cryptocurrency by market value might serve as a hedge against inflation. Economists, including Steve Hanke of Johns Hopkins University, have written that hyperinflation episodes in Zimbabwe, revolutionary France, and elsewhere have historically occurred when the supply of money had no natural constraints. If you have control over the supply of money and you actually don't set a limit on how much money you're actually um, holding in your bank account, or I would say holding in the Federal Reserve, and you're not keeping the numbers tightly, and you keep printing more money, then of course there will actually be no be no control over it, because you're just dumping more money. You're pumping it and then you're dumping it, because that's how you lose more money. So far, the inflation has remained muted. For how long? Rising unemployment damps wage growth and consumer demand, reducing upward pressure on prices for goods and services. We're not even thinking about raising rates, Powell said Wednesday in a televised conference. A summary of economic projections released Wednesday by Fed show that top officials at a central bank expect U.S. inflation to stay below 2% in the next 3 years. Here's a good one. But David Hendler, principal with the bank analysis firm Viola Risk Advisors, says just a matter of time. There's a huge inflation ahead, Hendler said in a phone interview. It's only offset because there are so many people not working. As people go back to work, there will be all this money sloshing around. Well, of course, I mean, if people go back to work, there's always going to be more money trafficking going around, which means people get money again, and by the time the inflation hits, um, their money is going to be worth nothing. It's basically going to be toilet paper. That's just in the banks. The money management giant Fidelity Investments said Tuesday that in a survey of almost 800 financial advisors, pension funds, family wealth management offices, and other international investors, a majority responded that digital assets have a place in their investment portfolio. Do you hear that? They said, and I repeat again, that a majority of institutional investors responded that they have a place in their investment portfolio, which means institutional investors will be more and more up in the crypto space, which means as the money declines, as the value declines, they will be searching other options. They will be searching, especially Bitcoin, but once they actually stop investing in Bitcoin, when they figure out or when they see that Bitcoin is too overpriced and overhyped, then they will go for the altcoins and shitcoins. So if you have altcoins like Digibyte, shitcoins like Bytecoin, and so on, then you better keep that bag ready. You better keep your Trons ready, because those investors, they will come after the altcoins once they're done trying to get Bitcoin and they can't even buy that stuff anymore. So if I were you guys, I would keep hodling until the investors come and join the market and buy it to a high price. They will pump the market with money, and that's when you will actually make a big profit. All right. So let's see here again. If inflation is coming, now might be the time to hedge against it. Well, that's correct. If it's coming, of course, then it's time to actually hold your bitcoins, hold your altcoins, especially your altcoins, and once they start jumping in, then you will be selling out hardcore, like a pimp. Which, in context, you'll be selling your crypto like a pimp, and that's what actually is going to happen. Well, so far so good. This is actually one I wanted to share with you guys. If you like the video, just subscribe, leave a like, comment on it. If you agree what I'm saying, or if you have any other anything else to add to it, or if you disagree, that's fine with me too. That would be great. And yeah, I just like to see you guys the next time in the next video. Peace out.